The New England Patriots have won the toss, and they will receive the kick coming from Jason Elam. From the 7-yard line, this is Patrick Pass. Tripped up as he crossed the 20, forward to about the 25-yard line, 18-yard return, and Keith Burns made the stop, and here comes Tom Brady. A look at his numbers on the season.
And right away, Greg, you see Tom Brady snapping that chin strap on, and you can see the gloves on his hands. We saw him on Friday. He was wearing them. He threw the ball extremely well with the gloves on.
And it's been our experience that once a quarterback puts those gloves on, he's not going to take them off. On first down from the 25-yard line. Brady will throw it on first down. And that's complete out to the 29. And we welcome those of you who watch the Pittsburgh Steelers defeat the Baltimore Ravens 31-18. We are just underway. Tom Brady completed a first down pass for 4 yards, and it'll be 2nd and 6. The Patriots come in off of a dramatic overtime victory a week ago against Kansas City. On 2nd and 6. Antoine Smith. And Smith a yard or two just across the 30. The offense for the New England Patriots. Joe Andruzzi joins them after 3 games missing, and Tom Brady tells you what the emphasis is today.
It really puts pressure on the defense when you can throw it well and run it well. And Antoine's a playmaker for us, and Antoine's going to get the ball. You know, he's going to have to run it well, and I'm going to have to throw it well. And when we're able to get Antoine going, puts a lot of pressure on that defense and stuff.
Antoine Smith had that last carry, and he is in the backfield with Brady on 3rd and 5. Brady with time, now running out of time, on the move, and is hit at the 27-yard line by Ian Gold. That'll bring the punting unit on.
Greg, you're right. You know, get Antoine Smith going to run it and throw it well means one thing. That means your offensive line has to really play well. The Patriots feel better about their offensive line, but it has struggled, and that's why the offense has been inconsistent.
Ken Walter will kick it away to Delva O'Neal. New England has now had 10 sacks in the last 5 games. Off the side of his foot, it is a horrible kick. Bounces out of bounds, appears to be shy of the 50-yard line. At the 48-yard line, and here comes Brian Griese. And Brian Griese's offensive line. Changes up front. Tom Nalen is injured. Ben Hamilton replaces him, and Griese on the big picture today.
When you play on the road in the NFL, you have to be able to run the football. You can't get into a one-dimensional game. This defense is too good, and Bill Belichick's schemes are too good for us to have to throw the ball 50 times, so we have to have a good mix.
Good mix what both teams are looking for. Griese with the ball, throws it out here, complete to Rod Smith, who dribbled it and then picked it up, and now he's inside the 30, and that's a first down for the Denver Broncos. Victor Green brought him down. Let's check out the New England defense. Up front, the rookie Jarvis Green starts for Anthony Pleasant on the front line. The linebackers, Mike Vrabel has an interception, a couple of sacks, and he even has a touchdown catch this season.
And the secondary, Tabucky Jones, he's played well this year against the run, very physical and fast enough to cover receivers and tight ends down the field. There's Romeo Cornell, defensive coordinator.
This is Clinton Portis. Portis tries the right side.
Well, you know, the Patriots, there is some self-doubt. You're the Super Bowl champions. You lose 3 in a row. They had 2 weeks of practice, some tough practices. And, Greg, not the way you want to start. Getting sacked at the quarterback, bad punt, and you blitz on the first play against the Broncos. They hit the pass and pick up big yardage.
From the 26, Griese to throw. Has time, sideline, throws it behind an intended receiver, Shannon Sharp, who had a huge game against the Kansas City Chiefs. 12 catches for 214 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. All the success that Shannon Sharp has had in this league, we're going to see some of those catches. Look at those numbers. But Mike Shanahan said something to us last night that was very interesting. He says it just gives Shannon Sharpe confidence. And even though he's had great success in his career, players always want their reinforcement. They can still do it at a high level.
3rd and 9. Here comes the blitz. Creasy, complete to Sharpe, or make it Shannon Sharpe out of bounds close to the 15-yard line. It appears to have enough for the first down.
Well, I tell you what, I don't know how the Denver offensive players pick up the movement. There was so much by the Patriots defense that I couldn't even figure it out. I'm sitting up here where I got a good view, but Brian Griese gets the time afforded to him by the offensive line, and Shannon Sharpe against Mike Vrabel. That's a good matchup for the Broncos.
Clinton Portis, left side, breaks a tackle inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
Now, Clinton Portis is not the type of running back that the Patriots like to see. This is a guy, and we even heard it a little from Mike Shanahan last night, that has the speed to take it outside and stay out there and gain yards. You know, most of the time running backs go out there, but they're really looking to cut it back because they're a little nervous about their speed. Not Clinton Portis. He can get out there and get a big gain for you.
That is how productive the Denver Broncos have been in the red zone so far this season. McCaffrey in motion. The give is to Portis, right side, inside the 5 to about the 1.
You'd never like to see that play if you're a fan of the Patriots or if you're a player sitting there watching it. When you can line up and run the off-tackle play in the NFL, watch it. Just going to line up. Look at the defenders. Everybody's back. They're pushing you backwards. The running back hits the pile. It moves forward for another yard or two. That is not a good sign for your football team.
On 1st and goal, the Broncos go with 2 tight ends, Portis and Drones in the backfield. Portis tries the left side into the end zone for the touchdown.
Well, like every week, as we watch this touchdown run by Clinton Portis, I said to Mike Shanahan last night as we watched the touchdown, I said, Coach, you had a tough game against Miami on a Sunday night. You had a tough game last week. Can your team have the energy to come here and play? And he just like goes, I never even thought of it that way. I mean, yeah, that's just the NFL. Every week is tough, and a very good start by the Broncos.
Extra point by Elam is good. Never discount the importance of special teams. A poor punt gave the Broncos excellent field position and the game's first score.
About those coaches is what I look at, Greg. The play calling, the design, catch the other team off guard just enough to give your team a chance to go down there and playing from ahead in the National Football League. That's the best.
From the 9-yard line is Deion Branch. 20, 25. Football is loose. On the ground, Broncos say they have it.
You see a lot of hard hits in the National Football League, but that was as hard as I've seen a player get hit this year.
Looked like number 34, Ruben Drones, made the hit that shook the ball loose. No official call yet from the Broncos, or rather from the officials. The Broncos have made it clear who they think has the football. Patriots recover. You know, those must be some battles at the bottom of piles. Deion Branch lost the ball. Patriots came up with it. This could have been a disastrous start for New England. Coming up this week, Tom Brady on first down. The handoff straight ahead is Antoine Smith. And Smith is dragged down. Now let's check out the Denver defense. Defensive front is led by Trevor Price, who's registered 6 sacks so far this season. The middle linebacker, Al Wilson, playing with a dislocated middle finger, suffered last week against Kansas City.
Yeah, and you look at the Denver secondary, Kanoy Kennedy, he is back, number 28, a very good, strong safety. And Deltha O'Neal, he's the guy that makes the interceptions for that secondary.
On 2nd and 5, Brady going to give it to Troy Brown on the end around, and Brown can't get around this end. Run out of bounds by Denard Walker.
Well, it's hard to do a lot on offense when you look at the Patriots to really fool the Denver Broncos defense, because we heard it from the Patriot coaches. We watched film, Greg, you study it. They do not do a lot. They're going to stand there. They're going to drop back in their places, and they're going to watch the offense, and they're going to react to what you do.
It's Charlie Weiss, offensive coordinator, has his play in on 3rd and 10. And Brady will operate out of the shotgun. Edwards and Antoine Smith in the backfield with him. Brady runs out of time and is hit and goes down at the 24-yard line. Bertrand Berry, number 92, his 3rd sack of the season.
Well, everybody's a little unsatisfied. Only 3 rushers by the Denver Broncos. They do this a lot, but just watch the receivers when they go down the field. You play quarterback and tell me where you're going to throw this football. There is not even close to somebody being open. Tom Brady throwing interceptions did the smart thing by taking the sack.
Ken Walter got off a horrible punt last time. This one's not very far, but it is high. Fair catch, ball 4. He is bumped into. Penalty markers fly. And Deltha O'Neal is hurt. He is rolling at the 37-yard line. There may not be a more vulnerable player in football than the one standing there waiting for a punt with one arm up in the air.
Well, that's why they try to protect him, Greg. That's why they have certain rules. But the problem this time is he's going to get run over by 2 players. Denard Walker runs into him. Blocked in by Gerard Cherry. Oh, yes, he just takes it right to the midsection.
So while we wait for the penalty, it also appeared the ball bounced off of Deltha O'Neal's foot.
There is no interference with the opportunity because the player was actively blocking and blocking to his own player. The ball is recovered by Denver. First down. Timeout.
The Denver recovery is important. The Broncos with the football. 8:25 to play in the first quarter. We'll do that. The offense with the ball. Their own 41-yard line. Greasy still has the ball. Rolls this way. All kinds of time. Throws deep. Rod Smith intercepted. Ty Law. Law still on on his feet across the 25 to the 28-yard line. And now he's going to be ruled down back at the 14.
Well, of course, it's very loud here, Greg, so I couldn't hear the whistle saying he was ruled down. But what a play by Ty Law. A nice play action fake by the defense gives Brian Greasy a lot of time. Watch it, Rod Smith, the stop and go. Oh, the little hand in front. I thought he got away with something there. But going and playing the football in the air, that's what separates defensive backs in this league. Ty Law, excellent job.
So New England reclaims the football. The line of scrimmage will be the Patriot 15-yard line. You look at Ty Law on the bench.
Well, you know, you talk about, even Bill Belichick was talking to us, just getting things going. He says, it's hard for me to be mad at my football team sometimes because they pay attention, they work hard in practice. You know, they're doing it. They spend the extra time watching the film. They're in early. They're lifting their weights. But players are just not making the big plays on the field. And that's the way this game was starting. But Ty Law turned the tide for the New England Patriots.
You saw Deltha O'Neal take the hit on that last attempted fair catch. He is still on the bench. And number 37, Tyrone Poole, is in at cornerback for the Denver Broncos. There's Tyrone Poole, 7th-year cornerback out of Fort Valley State.
And, you know, I know what Brian Greasy's thinking on the sideline. His first interception in his last 68 pass attempts. As a quarterback in the National Football League, when you throw it deep down the field in one-on-one situations, the last thing you expect to happen is to have it intercepted. But Ty Law just fought Rod Smith for the football, got in position, used his body, and made a tremendous catch.
So something positive for Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots. First down from the 15-yard line. Brady to throw. Over the middle. Crossing pattern. Troy Brown. Brown out to the 30-yard line and a first down. 15-yard pickup on the play.
Well, the Patriots, what they do finally, get some receivers up the field, and when you do that, it creates a hole underneath, and Troy Brown comes underneath, makes a nice catch, and gets those extra yards, which is what you want with short passes.
Brady play fake. This one complete to Christian Fourier, the tight end. The ball is on the ground and picked off by the Denver Broncos. And now it is ruled that he was down. Already down. You know, he's all calm on the outside, but Bill Belichick is churning on the inside.
Well, I think the whistle did blow this play dead too, Greg. Let's watch Fourier as he comes across. The linebackers, boy, nice hit. That right knee looks like it goes down. And Ian Gold, what a hit on the tight end.
2nd and 1. Give us to Smith. And Smith down to the 39-yard line. Reggie Hayward with the stop. And let's go check in with Jim Nantz in New York. Jim.
All right, Greg, the final play of the game at New Orleans. Jay Feely, 47-yard attempt for the win for the Falcons, and he drills it. Atlanta over the Saints. Only the second loss of the season for New Orleans. Atlanta wins. Vic beats his cousin, 37-35. Back to Greg and Phil.
All right, Jim, thank you. 3rd and 1 on no gain on the previous play, and on the sneak, Brady appears to have it.
Yeah, it's close.
Didn't say it wasn't close. Said
Yeah,
he
that's
appeared
right.
to have it.
I just like disagreeing with you. Honey, called me pumpkin. Only my wife can call me pumpkin, not you.
Yeah, actually, I called you Pumpkin, P-U-N-K-I-N.
I've been called Pumpkinhead before many times.
Yeah, welcome to the club.
Yeah. But you know, you watch this New England offense today, Greg, a couple things come to mind. Bill Belichick wants to even it out. He wants to run the football, throw it a little, mix it up. Wants 3rd downs to be short because you can pick them up against this Denver defense. But most of all, he wants to protect his defense from the Denver offense today.
Antoine Smith looking for running room, cuts it back the other way and is dragged down by Al Wilson, the middle linebacker, number 56. Let's check in with Armin Katayan downstairs. Armin.
Thanks, Greg. You know, Phil, you're talking about that emotion. For the first time I've seen it with the Patriots after that long interception, that sense of urgency that Bill Belichick was talking about. He had singled some players out in practice and in film sessions, saying he would not tolerate their mistakes. There were some fights in practice. At one point, 20 guys going at it. I'm starting to see that emotion, Greg. Back to you.
All right, Armin, thank you. Brady to throw on 2nd down. This side of the field incomplete, underthrew it. Going back to Bill Belichick for a moment, what was it that he said on Friday, or Lawyer Malloy said on Friday about his coach? No more smiles from Bill.
He goes, Bill Belichick's back to being Bill Belichick. And, you know, it's interesting, too. You know what I took out of it? Because a couple players talked about that, Greg, and, you know, they like it. You know, they really do. Players like it tough because they know that's what helped them win last year. So they're winning. How could Coach Belichick be upset and tough on them when they're playing so well? But these 3 losses, that's brought them all back down to earth.
Brady got rid of it, incomplete. Bertrand Berry, who registered the last sack for the Broncos, applying the pressure on Brady, and it'll be 4th down.
You know, and you can see they cannot run the football with power inside. They're having trouble protecting the quarterback. That's why Tom Brady throwing some interceptions and some bad decisions. The offensive line has just got to have a good game to give the skilled people a chance to win it for you.
Deltha O'Neal back into the game and back to receive the punt at his own 20-yard line. Walter. O'Neal, and he's run over at the 28-yard line. Made the catch, and number 35, Patrick Pass, bearing down on him and just rolled over Mr. O'Neal. All at CBSSportsline.com. America Online, enter keyword CBS Sportsline.
You know, Greg, to go back to what Armin Katayan said earlier, he just talking about the Patriots, and the sense of urgency. You know, the Patriots are finding out what every team finds out in the National Football League when you're the Super Bowl champions, that the other team is hunting you now, and you're now not the underdog anymore, and it's harder to play in that situation.
Brian Griese, Rod Smith complete, and Smith close to the 35-yard line. Ty Law, Ted Johnson with the stop after a 7-yard pickup, 2nd and 3. You do. You come out with that big bullseye on your back, and everybody comes gunning for you. And I think you and I were discussing this last night. As far as the New England Patriots go, you come off the Super Bowl and you've won 3 straight, but then you start to lose, and other teams begin to look at you as something less than the champions, as just totally human and beatable.
It wouldn't matter if they were 0-6. It's still prestigious to beat the Super Bowl champions.
Clinton Portis can't get anywhere. Bobby Hamilton at the base of that stop.
And, you know, the other thing is, too, Greg, and, you know, all the New England Patriot players, they kind of agreed with this when we were talking about it. Well, they were telling us, not agreeing with this, is that, you know, the other teams have that sense of urgency. Why? Because they're a little afraid. There's something in you that goes, they're the champions. They've been playing well. If we don't play our best, they can embarrass us. And as an athlete, and I've been in that situation too, it makes you rise up and play a little harder. And that's what they've seen so far this year.
Griese on 3rd and 3. Throws, and that's complete. Oh, what a fine job by Rod Smith working one-on-one against Ty Law. That's a 7-yard gain and a 1st down.
Boy, Ty Law now, we saw he got away with a hold on the interception. Watch this time. It's right in front of us. Ty Law got both hands around the outside. Usually that will be called the arms on the receiver as he's trying to make the catch. But, you know, this is why you like big wide receivers in this league. They use the body. Rod Smith gets beat up. So what? He still makes the catch for the 1st down.
Griese has 4 completions, 3 of them to Smith. Here's Portis as penalty markers fly.
Looks like offsides on the defense.
Tom White says offside on the defense.
Uh-oh. Let's see if his microphone's fixed.
Offside, number 91, defense. It's a 5-yard penalty. Remains 1st down.
He sounds as good as ever.
Maybe better.
Bobby Hamilton, the man offsides. But you look at this Bronco offense. Greg, you talked about it. They scored on the opening drive. They're famous for it. They script those first 15 plays. You hear all the talk about Mike Shanahan. He has Gary Kubiak helping him. They do a lot of stuff. It's well designed and aggressive play calling.
Portis, right side, across midfield into the 45-yard line of the New England Patriots. There's Gary Kubiak, offensive coordinator and quarterback coach for the Broncos.
Yeah, you know, it's tough enough to defend or coach against one guy sometimes. But look at those two together. I've watched a lot of games on TV when the Broncos are playing, and they work hard on the sideline thinking and calling plays. They have a tremendous script to call plays from, so no matter what you do on defense, they got an offense they're going to try to run against that defense.
Griese on 1st down, the pitch to Portis, left side, running room. Inside the 40 and out of bounds at the 1st down marker, the 35-yard line.
Come to me. You know, just a simple play. Again, take advantage of a defense pursuing too fast, so they fake it inside, they pitch it out. But watch Clinton Portis when he gets to the outside. Watch this little fake inside. Oh, let me just go right around Ty Law and pick up 6 extra yards. Boy, he looks faster than he looks when I watch him on TV or on film. And again, Mike Shanahan, we said it earlier, he said this is what Clinton Portis has. Speed to go outside and stay out there and gain those yards.
Mike Anderson now and Ruben Drones in the backfield, and on the end around, here comes Ashley Lilly. Ashley Lilly out of bounds shy of the 30-yard line. Roman Pfeiffer over there to knock him out of bounds. Boy, did Mike Shanahan have words of praise for this rookie out of Hawaii last night.
Yep, and it's like we notice a lot of times, Greg, with young wide receivers, as the year goes along, all of a sudden you see him more and more. And when you watch Bronco games, you see 85 out there. Yeah, he likes him. He's tall. He's really fast, tough. Goes up in the air to make the tough catches. Smart, can play or knows all the plays for all 3 wide receiver positions. That's awfully good for a rookie.
Mike Anderson inside the 30 to about the 28-yard line. Clock continues to move. 50 seconds to play here in the first quarter.
Well, you know what the Patriots are doing? They're trying to time up the snap count of Brian Griese, and they're sending Lawyer Malloy to Bucky Jones, running up to the line of scrimmage right before the ball is snapped to help their run defense.
Now Belichick and the Patriots looking at a 3rd and 4. Clinton Portis, the lone back with Griese, and he comes in motion to the near side of the field. Griese with time over the middle. McCaffrey, 15, 10, dragged down inside the 10-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal.
Greg, you were right. All that was given the quarterback time. The defense did a good job, but Ed McCaffrey broke through because of the protection.
We have come to the end of the first quarter with our score: Denver 7, New England nothing. We'll come back to Gillette Stadium right after this. You're watching the NFL on CBS. The Denver Broncos and playing a big role because he's got Ben Hamilton in at center instead of the always reliable Tom Nalen, who's out for the year with injury.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've been watching Alex Gibbs, and he's like giving critiques a lot of times between plays to his offensive line, and especially Ben Hamilton starting at center now.
Only way you can say it is the Patriots have been awful defensively in the red zone. 1st and goal. Griese to the end zone. Touchdown. Shannon Sharpe.
Well, I tell you what, the Denver Broncos are playing well, but Brian Griese being patient, just making one good read and throw after another. Trying to throw the ball to Clinton Portis. No. Feels Willie McGinnis coming, pulls up, nice, a perfect throw to the back of the end zone to Shannon Sharpe.
You would have to say that something special has developed these last 2 weeks between Brian Griese and Shannon Sharpe. Not the least of which is Brian Griese said, you know, you got to stop calling me Griese. Call me Brian. I'm your friend. I'm your teammate.
Yeah, that's right. This last name stuff, Gumbel's just not working.
Jason Elam's 365th straight point after touchdown. Brian Griese signals a TD and a 2-touchdown lead. Caught a touchdown pass from Brian Griese. He's now caught 3 in the last 2 games. Grabs that one. And then what else is Shannon known by these days?
Yeah, he's too much.
Big play Shea.
Big, he's going to show us. Come on, Shannon. Delay a game.
Yeah.
Says big play Shea. Having a lot of fun with it.
Here's the kickoff. From the 12-yard line, it's Deion Branch. 25, 35, and out of bounds just short of the 40-yard line. While we have a moment, see why CBS Monday's America's Best Night of Television, starting with The King of Queens, followed by Yes, Dear, Everybody Loves Raymond, and the new hit comedy Still Standing. And then don't miss TV's #1 new drama CSI Miami, plus The Late Show with David Letterman, Monday here on CBS, America's Most Watched Network.
Right, it's good stuff on Mondays. I am truly a couch potato come Mondays. You know, well, I don't know, a lot of nights I am, but Mondays for sure. Because I think I work on the weekends, and they're the quarterbacks going over all the Polaroids of everything that New England's defense is doing. We'll tell you a little bit about that later in the show, too.
Brady from the 39 over the middle, and that's complete across the 40 to the 43 or 44 to David Gibbons, the rookie out of Notre Dame. So as you look at Brian Griese's accomplishment.
Yeah, it was funny. He was talking about the pictures last night, and he says, you know, sometimes it's just a lot of second guessing going on with those pictures. So,
well, because sometimes the pictures don't show you everything.
That's right.
2nd and 5. Brady with everybody spread across the field. Pulls it down. And out to the 48-yard line. Looks to be about a yard, maybe a half a yard shy of a first down. Keith Washington made the tackle.
Well, as you watch this New England offense, and Tom Brady, I read some articles where he talked about it, and he was strongly telling us too, Greg, that he was not going to force the football down the field because, you know, he's one of these guys that can throw it pretty well. So he loves to rip it down in there when the coverage is tight because he thinks he can get it in there. But Going to play it safe, and he's done that so far today.
Mark Edwards straight ahead and appears to have enough for the first down at midfield. Yeah, well, he said there's a difference between arrogance and stupidity.
Yeah, and it's a really, really fine line as a quarterback. And especially quarterbacks who can throw it as well as he can throw it. You know, if you don't have a strong arm, I promise you, a lot of times quarterbacks that do not have strong arms are good decision makers, and they don't turn it over a lot because they're not going to take a chance. They're just not, because they know they can't.
And we get a whistle here before the snap of the ball.
Please reset the play clock to 25 seconds.
And that has been done.
You know, the other thing too, Greg, as we talk about this New England team and the offense, I have yet to see the offensive line, who they've worked hard on or with the last 2 weeks. They have not pushed the Denver defensive line back yet.
Antoine Smith tries the left side, makes it to about the 46-yard line. A gain of 4, and it'll be 2nd and 6. You know, we talked about how things have changed for these New England Patriots. Would you, as a player or coach, worry about a team still thinking about that Super Bowl victory?
Not now. That's over, and it's not even talked about hardly anymore either. So, no, you worry about the fact that you've lost 3 and you got to find it again.
Quick slant, incomplete, intended for David Patton, and Tyrone Poole was right there, number 37.
Boy, nice play. This is a play that the New England Patriots run just about every single week, and Tyrone Poole recognizes it, gets in there fast, and breaks it up.
Neither Patton nor Deion Branch have registered a reception yet here today. Denver with almost 7 yards of play so far. 3rd and 6 for the Patriots. Brady with time this time. And now incomplete to the far side, intended for Troy Brown.
Hey, you know what? Shutout. That was a shutout again. The Broncos like to rush just 3 people, so they're not going to sack the quarterback a lot. And don't expect to blitz on 3rd down. But Tom Brady looking down the field, everybody is covered. There's Ray Rhodes, defensive coordinator for the Denver Broncos.
Ken Walter kick it, Delva O'Neal back at the 10. Nice kick this time by Walter. They'll let it bounce at the 10 to the 1. And it is going to be a touchback. Gerard Cherry, I think where he made his mistake, he jumped in the air, but when he jumped, he was already in the end zone. Number 30, there he is. He's in the end zone. Oh, Gerard, that doesn't count, yeah?
It is amazing. I sit around all week and I think of all this stuff, and oh, I got a good feel. Then I go talk.
Had 1 foot on the goal line and jumped up in the air. There is the reason for the touchback, because his status was in the end zone because his foot was on the goal line and did not reestablish anything else. 1st down.
Okay.
That was Tom.
Thank you, Tom. But then you go talk to the coaches and you go, wow, of course. They're right. Why would I think the other way? And it is amazing how little you know once you talk to the coaches in this league.
Greasy on 1st down, the give to Portis, and Portis across the 20 to about the 23-yard line. Let's go down once again to Armin.
Thanks, Greg. You know, Tom Brady and Brian Greasy were teammates for 2 years at the University of Michigan. They often talk on the phone, and Brian telling us he actually got a call this week from Tom looking for a little comfort and advice, and Brian said, I told him, hey, man, you've been on the top of the world for the last 12 months. Welcome to everyone else's life. And Brian may be the most scrutinized and criticized player in the league, and he's learned to deal with it, Greg.
Welcome back to earth, dude.
That is right.
On 2nd and 7. Straight ahead, Mike Anderson. And Anderson out close to a 1st down. Looks to be a little bit short.
You know, Armin Katayan is right. We do games all over the league. I read the papers. I listen to all the radio or the talk shows on TV. Brian Greasy is scrutinized he's right more than anybody else, and I think wrongly so much of the time. If Denver loses, no matter how he plays, it's always his fault. And a good example, they played Miami a couple of weeks ago. I thought he was courageous, brought him back. They should have won the game. He did his part. They lose. Third down play.
Looking for the first down and appearing to get it is Mike Anderson.
And Greg, every show I turn on, ex-players going, well, Griese didn't play a perfect game. Well, no kidding.
And there's only one reason for it. It's because of the guy he replaced in Denver.
Well, that's a big reason. That's right. Even Shannon Sharp says, you know, unfortunately, Brian Griese is held to a much higher standard than other quarterbacks in the league. And Shannon put it right. He goes, hey, he just got to deal with it. And he does deal with it. He handles it, I think, very well now. But he's played, I think, really, really well this year.
Griese takes the hit, delivers the pass to Rod Smith. And Smith lost the football. Covered by the Patriots. Ty Law on the ball. So Griese and the Broncos thwarted. New England takes over, 10-10 to play in the half. It's been challenged as to whether or not it actually was a fumble or not. Let's take another look.
Well, Mike Shanahan, he won't hesitate. He will throw that flag or challenge a play in a second, especially in the first half. And the left knee, was it down? Watch the left knee. It's down.
I can't see the ball there, Phil.
I cannot either to give it conclusive. Here's a good shot of it from the side. Now it happens so fast.
Question is that enough for Tom White to overturn the original call, which was a fumble? He's made his decision, so let's check it out.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. As the runner is going to the ground, the ball is coming out the front side, and his knee is not yet on the ground. It's a fumble and not down by contact. First down.
So the Patriots take over at the Denver 42.
Yeah, let's give you one more look. Boy, good job. You can see the pulling away of the hand. Makes Rod Smith fumble it as Mike Vrabel comes from behind. It makes the hit, and Ty Law, good play by him.
Another good play by him. He picked off Brian Griese earlier in the game. It cost Denver a timeout. They're now down to 2.
You know, Ty Law is a player that, you know, of course I like a lot, but he's not afraid to make big plays. He's not afraid to give them up either. He doesn't play scared. He plays aggressive, tries to go out there and win that way, and it's worked out very well for him in his career.
Brady over the middle. Fourier pulls it in inside the 40 at the 37-yard line. I bet you're wondering what's going on with Houston and Jacksonville. Here's Jim Nantz in New York. Jim.
All right, thank you, Greg. We finally have someone on the board. It's Jacksonville. It's Brunell to Jimmy Smith, a 25-yard hookup as Brunell comes out of the pocket and finds his favorite target. 7-0 Jags. Back to Greg and Phil.
All right, Jim, thank you. 2nd and 5 here in Foxborough. Fourier in motion. This is Antoine Smith. Smith left side, running room inside the 30 for a first down.
Boy, now that looked good by the Patriots offense. That time, Damian Woody, Mike Compton, and Matt Light all had good blocks on the left side to let Antoine Smith go up in there and read it, take his time, and then get down the field. A late shift by the Broncos defensive line. Look at the blocking, and Fourier, a good block at the tight end position too.
This is Edwards, and Edwards inside the 25 still pulls his way forward to about the 23-yard line. You know, Damian Woody's saying, as this offensive line begins to click, that with the return of Joe Andruzzi, it's the first time that the front 5 has been together since early in the season.
Yeah, and it might not just click today because they're back together. It takes more than one game or a couple practices to get it going, but Joe Andruzzi, they talked about, they just like him being in there. He's tough, a veteran.
This is Edwards to the 15 and another first down.
And now you get the balance of the offense. When you run a few tough runs, all of a sudden the fullback is wide open out in the flat, and you get the defense guessing. because before the defense was just playing pass, and they're hitting Tom Brady every time he drops back.
New England pays its first visit to the red zone, and we get a timeout on the field. Number 56, Al Wilson, headed over, and there's number 25, Denard Walker. And maybe Denard Walker feeling the effects of the previous play.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Tom White saw it, and they're going to make him come off for a play.
Let's check out the previous play.
Yep, you can see he leads. His head hits the thigh of Mark Edwards.
They know you're not good when you go back to the huddle and say Happy New Year. 1st and 10 from the 15. Antoine Smith reverses field to the 10. Inside the 5-yard line, it'll be 1st and goal, Patriots. Kenoy Kennedy wrestled him down and saved the touchdown after an 11-yard pickup.
Well, they might have found a side they want to run to. Good blocking up front again. It allows the runner to get up in the defense. Then he makes a nice cut across the field. And Antoine Smith, I don't even have to tell you, you can look at him and see that he is one of the bigger running backs in the National Football League.
1st and goal from the 3. Smith, touchdown.
Well, it took them a while to get it going, but the offensive line this time, boy, nice blocks. Denver moving the defensive line. The New England offensive line just pushes them along, and another good cut by Antoine Smith.
Adam Vinatieri, 15 out of 15 on extra points. Gets the 16th up and through. The Patriots get on the board on Antoine Smith's 2nd touchdown of the season. Down, and they are surrounding Antoine Smith, who appeared to twist a knee as he went into the end zone. And you see him flexing it and trying to walk it off. We'll track Antoine. Meanwhile, Scotty Montgomery is deep for Denver as Vinatieri kicks it away. This is Montgomery from the 8, 20, 30, and wrestled down at about the 30-yard line by Victor Green. Tonight on CBS, Libby Parsons was convicted of murdering her husband. Now she's out to prove he was alive all along. Don't miss Ashley Judd and Tommy Lee Jones in the action thriller Double Jeopardy tonight on CBS, America's most watched network.
You know, it's amazing. The Patriots look so good on that drive. Like all teams in this league this year that started out throwing it so much, they're trying to gear back to get that really good mix again. The Patriots throwing it a lot, now trying to get the running game going. And the Oakland Raiders, who have thrown it so much, have struggled the last 3 weeks because it always comes down to it. You got to have the mix. You got to learn to win the physical battle.
Brian Griese going to go deep, has a man open. It is incomplete, intended for Sharp. Penalty marker is down at about the 45-yard line. Lawyer Malloy and Tabucky Jones were tracking Sharp down the sideline. And this looks to be against the Patriots. It is.
Brian Griese needed about 1 more foot of space in front of him. This could have been a touchdown. He would have got it out in front.
Pass interference. Number 34, defense. That's 1st down.
On the outside, Shannon Sharp lines up as a wide receiver and just goes. Tabucky Jones caught off guard by Shannon Sharp, just going for the long pass.
Line of scrimmage, the 46-yard line. To give Portis inside the 45 to about the 43.5-yard line. And Shannon Sharp told us last night, yeah, I believe that Brian did start to look for me toward the end of the first half of the game last week against Kansas City. He hasn't stopped looking for him since.
Yeah, you know, a lot of times a quarter was not only that. Brian Griese started looking for him, Greg, because the coaches started calling plays where the tight end was the #1 receiver. As Shannon Sharp told us earlier in the year, he goes, now I'm number 3 on the pecking order, but it's moving up because of last week's game.
Portis inside the 40. You know, Clinton Portis is wearing some of those Halloween shoes.
They do have just a little bit of color on them, don't they?
Most of it's covered with tape, but you know, Scotty Montgomery doesn't have tape on him. Get you some orange shoes, Phil.
I got some.
There's Scotty Montgomery on the sideline. 3rd and 3. Greasy lobs it out here. McCaffrey made the catch at the 25.
Boy, a couple things. The blitz by the Patriots, the protection again by this offensive line and picking up the blitzers, and Brian Greasy kind of stays back, falls backward and makes a throw, and what a catch by Ed McCaffrey. That is the one thing that kind of goes unnoticed, I think, about Brian Greasy too. The fact that he hangs in there, he's tough, maybe too tough for my liking even sometimes, but makes those types of throws that are so, those are the difference in football games. You make 3 or 4 tough throws a game.
Here's Mike Anderson, and Anderson tips the left side inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. Let's go down to Armin.
Greg, the update on Antoine Smith is he's got a bruised left leg. It's in and around that knee area. He's still being evaluated. His return up in the air. Back to you.
All right, Armin, thank you.
You know, Greg, I want to go back to Brian Greasy too, because we watch the games, we talk about it a lot, but Brian Greasy, we talked about the press, that it's very demanding on him, all that, but I'll tell you what else. The coaches are really demanding on him, and he gets double whammies. He gets the head coach Shanahan and the quarterback coach and offensive coordinator Gary Kubiak.
End around, number 83, Scotty Montgomery, and Montgomery not much on the play, if anything. You know, talking to Brian Greasy, I remember you asked him something and you said, well, what does Mike have to say? And he said, I don't talk to Mike. Gary Kubiak is the guy I really talk to a lot. There's Gary on the left.
That's right. Gary Kubiak is the filter. So if Brian's unhappy, he goes to him and he relays it to Mike. And even Mike Shanahan says, I don't talk to Brian either. So that's the way it is. Sometimes the relationship between a quarterback and coach, it's going to be tough.
I just discovered something. We need a filter between you and me. We'll be back. Denver been productive on 3rd down, and that hasn't been their strong point the first part of the season. They look at a 3rd and 4. They need the 15-yard line for a first down. Greasy from the shotgun. Here comes the blitz. Throwing outside, McCaffrey for a 1st and goal. What a pass. The ball had to be 3/4 of the way to Ed McCaffrey before he even turned his head.
You know, we kind of talked about it earlier. First off, both safeties coming up the middle on a blitz. Brian Greasy knows he has to get rid of the football. Terrell Buckley on the coverage, but you just got to make plays, and that's all this is. McCaffrey, 2 big ones. Brian Greasy, 5 big plays so far today for him, especially 3rd down completions.
On 1st and goal, Clinton Portis, right side. To about the 4. Willie McGinnis with the stop. It'll be 2nd and goal.
And I'm in the booth. I'm pointing to you to the sideline. Alex Gibbs is on the field. It's like, it's pretty funny. And well, there he is, because he's giving a clinic between every play, and it's, you know,
he's giving the clinic to Ben Hamilton, who's the regular starting left guard, but has moved over to center due to the season-ending injury to Tom Nalen.
Yeah, Alex Gibbs is one of these offensive line coaches. He's going to retire. He's been retiring for like 10 years. Can't give it up because he's too good and he likes it too much.
Portis up the middle to the goal line, touchdown.
Well, just a tremendous mix of plays for this Denver offense. Picking up blitzes, throwing when you're not expecting it, and then just running the football, catching you off guard and overpowering you.
Oh, number 34, Ruben Drones clearing the way ahead of Portis for the touchdown.
And Portis, for not a big running back, But what I like about him, he will run it up in there hard.
Jason Elam. Mr. Automatic on the extra point. Once again, a 2-touchdown lead for the Denver Broncos.
Tom Brady.
Rolling, lofts it, and threw it away.
Well, I know the Patriots, that's the first time today that I've seen the Broncos defense change its coverage down the field. So that might have been enough to disrupt the play and confuse Tom Brady. Because it confused Greg. Greg was looking at it like he didn't understand the coverage. Well, they're going over some plays, and what are you going to look at? Yeah, Brian, good play, good play.
Here's one of me with my uncle when I was 2.
Yeah, no, and they're looking at all good stuff because whatever the Patriots are doing, they have figured it out.
This is Kevin Falk. Falk picks his way through the line, 35 to the 36-yard line. Every yard hard-earned by Kevin Falk. It'll be 3rd and 5.
And I would think New England will let this go to the 2-minute warning. They're going to. And you let that happen because if you can't get the first down, you try to give Denver as little time as possible.
We come to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play in the first half in Foxborough. Denver leading the Patriots 21-7.
Today, why is it you think that everybody picks on Boomer? Why? What do you think?
He deserves it.
Good answer.
Oh, Tom Brady. 3rd down has not been his down today.
Looks like a 3-man rush again, so they're going to drop back 8 people in pass coverage.
Spread the field, 3-man rush, quick slant complete for the first down to Mark Edwards. To the 44-yard line, first down New England.
And you can see when you have that many defenders watching the quarterback, when you catch it, you are going to get hit immediately.
New England has all 3 of its timeouts remaining. Another quick pass. This one is complete to number 80, Troy Brown, and he looked like he dropped the football.
You know, what did I tell you last night? We were just talking about it. When you play a style of defense, 8 defenders watching the quarterback, when you throw short passes, you get so many defenders going at that receiver, you cause a lot of fumbles.
Brady on the move, throws near sideline, that's incomplete. Clock stops with 1:10 to play. David Patton, the intended receiver.
You know, does that make sense to you, Greg, though? When I talk about that, when I say, you know, the Denver defense, they do a terrific job of causing fumbles and getting big hits, it's because they're watching, and as soon as Brady looks, they start to react, and now you get a lot of people going to the football. You become good tacklers, and that second and third guy hitting the receiver, they're the ones that cause the fumble.
You get completions. The trick is to hold on to the football.
That's right, and you get a lot of short completions.
On 3rd and 6. Brady on the move, tackled at the 48-yard line. Bertrand Berry, who has played a terrific game with the chances that he's had to come in.
Well, you got to remember it's 21-7 as a quarterback, so watch again. Just look at the receivers going down the field. Nobody open up there. Now you tell me where you're going to throw it. That is what they call being wired. They are all over the receivers of the Patriots.
3rd sack of the Denver Broncos today. By the Denver Broncos, rather. Deltha O'Neal is deep. Berry has had 2 of those sacks. Walter gets a high floater away. O'Neal, fair catch called for, lets it bounce behind him. And it's going to roll to a stop just inside the 5-yard line. Oh, Brian Griese has had a busy first half, hasn't he?
Well, something that's always overlooked, I think, when you talk about Brian Griese, well, a lot of things. Throws perfect spirals, so it's easy for receivers to catch. Hangs in the pocket extremely well. And under all the coaching that he gets, he continues just to get better at picking out the the right wide receiver to throw it to. And Mike Shanahan said last week was one of the best games Brian Griese has ever played because he just did the right thing in all situations.
Well, Griese will take a little bit of a knee and let time run out here in the first half. And it has been a terrific first half for Mike Shanahan and the Denver Broncos, who come in with a 5-2 mark and hoping to add to the 3-game losing streak that the New England Patriots are riding on. 21-7 is our score.
Well, you got to remember, 21-7, not all bad for the Patriots. It's just 2 scores. They didn't have the mistakes late, so it didn't cost them another field goal or touchdown. So that's how you got to look at it and go in knowing the fact that you can still get it done.
That's the end of the first half with our score. The Denver Broncos 21, New England 7. Jim Nantz and company are along with the Nextel halftime report right after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
New England leads that 2-0, and it's probably good they do, because if they didn't, this might be 28-0.
This is Scotty Montgomery. He in his shoes from the 2. 15, 20, 30, and dragged out of bounds short of the 35-yard line by Tebucky Jones. And let's go down to Armin Katayan. Armin.
Thanks, Greg. Phil, you're thinking right along with Mike Shanahan, who told me he's very happy with the way they've been able to bottle up Tom Brady. 3, 4, 5, and 6-man rushes, he said, really mixing it up. As for Bill Belichick, he said 2 words really to me. He goes, third down. He said, we're just not doing anything on third down. He said they will not really try to go down the field much with Brady. They'll try to control the football here in the second half. Back to you, Greg.
Armin, thank you. First down from the 34-yard line. Clinton Portis and Mike Anderson in the backfield. This is Portis. Oh, can he scoot across the 40 to the 42-yard line?
Yeah, it's a good word. He scoots, he darts, he's quick, he's fast, and that's what it looks like. And you know, to go back to what we talked about right off the start of the game, Greg, we've done the Patriots a couple of times. They've always talked about, we're going to play, be aggressive, score points, and do our thing. But you heard it again. Armin just said it. They're going to try to protect the football and keep this Denver offense off the field if they can.
Griese and the Broncos with a double tight end. Griese play fakes and throws, and wide open is McCaffrey. McCaffrey to the 41-yard line of the New England Patriots and a first down.
Now, you know, when you talk about quarterbacks in the National Football League, when you see a quarterback really playing well, it's because, of course, he gets protection, but really what it is, the biggest thing, I think, play calling. It's second and about 3 yards. Everybody thinks it's a run. This is why Denver is so good on first and second downs. They go against logic. Mike Shanahan, Gary Kubiak call the pass. Ed McCaffrey is wide open.
Ed McCaffrey, 4 catches, 67 yards today. This is Anderson, and Anderson inside the 40 to 38. You were asking Mike Shanahan last night about Ed McCaffrey coming off of that horrible broken leg of a year ago, and Mike Shanahan said, yeah, he looks fine to me.
He's back. He is very happy with what Ed McCaffrey's doing, as you see Brian Griese's stats. And back full strength. You got Ed McCaffrey on one side, Rod Smith on the other. Griese at quarterback. Clinton Portis running the football. You got a pretty good offense.
Shannon Sharp all full of himself.
Yeah, that's right. Shannon Sharp is back. I'm sorry I left him out. Dan Neal's trying to get his shoe back on, and Brian Griese has got to call a timeout.
And even here early in the third quarter, he's going to let the play clock run all the way down before he calls the timeout. So the Broncos burn a timeout early here in the first half. Timeout on the field, 21-7 Denver. We'll be right back. Movement up front on the offensive line. Defense jumps. Let's see who's at fault. There was contact. Boy, the Denver Broncos have been a scoring machine.
Number 93, defense. It's a 5-yard penalty.
Richard Seymour guilty of the offside.
Good job. You heard the hard snap count by Brian Griese. He follows a guy, John Elway, who was the best that's ever played when it comes to drawing a defense offside.
How about that? Denver, no penalties, no sacks allowed so far today. 2nd and 3. Greasy throws. That's complete to McCaffrey, and McCaffrey run out of bounds just short of first down yardage at the 32.
You know, what I was trying to say earlier, Greg, but I got off into about 5 other things before I could get my point out, is that about this Denver Broncos offense, they have not been terrific on third downs, but they're so good on first and second downs that it really doesn't matter. And that's why is because they keep you off guard. Just in, again, second and not very far, they throw the football instead of running it.
Well, McCaffrey did get enough for the first down, so it is a first down at the 31-yard line. Portis will stop and go, bounces off a tackler and ducks inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. Seymour and Teddy Bruschi with the stop. Pickup of 3, and it'll be 2nd and 7. Well, Bill Belichick walking up and down. You know, Brian Griese has fared pretty darn well against the defense, which he admitted to us last night. He said Belichick is always going to have something different, always.
Well, yeah, but so far the Broncos, whatever time they see, well, let's hear what Tom White has to say. Every time, Greg, they're seeing those different defenses, the blitzes and movement, they've handled it very well. I don't think they're challenging the last run.
Mike Shanahan is going to go. What kind of belt you got there, Tom?
The buzzer went off by accident. There is no challenge on this play.
Tom White actually came over and said, "What the heck are you challenging?" So we're back to a 2nd and 7. Clinton Portis and Reuben Drones are now in the backfield behind Griese.
A different look. 2 tight ends, 2 backs, and 1 wide receiver.
Griese goes down at the 36-yard line, courtesy of Willie McGinnis.
Well, a couple things. This time, the Patriots cover the receivers down the field. Willie McGinnis not blocked on the outside. Let's see who misses the block. It's Clinton Portis trying to, no. Reuben Drones misses him. And sometimes the Broncos, a running back, has to block a defensive end. That time he missed him.
Loss of 7 makes it 3rd and 14. Griese over the middle, and that's complete to the 30-yard line to Rod Smith, and not nearly enough for a first down. And Jason Elam will come on. Griese finds a wide open Rod Smith, but he's open because he's well short of first down yardage. Now, Jason Elam has hit 29 consecutive field goals of 42 yards or less. This one's from 48 yards out. To the right. Defensive stand by the Patriots. They'll take over with 10:18 to play in the 3rd. New England has been wonderful on their first possessions of the 2nd half. Meanwhile, Antoine Smith back in the lineup. Gets the handoff, ducks inside the 40, or outside the 40 to the 41-yard line. Lionel Dalton makes the stop.
Big Lionel, Jelly Roll.
Jelly Roll.
There he is. That's Jelly. We talked to Jelly last night, and he's like my new hero. First, wonderful guy, a lot of fun to talk to, but I said, well, how much you weigh? 315. What are you going to do? Get room service, double cheeseburger, slab of ribs, chocolate cake with ice cream.
Brady. Everybody covered downfield. He goes short to Smith, to midfield. Just into Denver territory and a first down. And a penalty marker, late flag, coming out of the secondary. So let's see what the call is. Looks like it's going to be against New England.
Oh, I couldn't tell. I didn't see it, but it must be a late hit. Big stuff.
Well, we got the preliminary call, and now we get another conference.
Personal foul, number 63, offense. After the play was over, the penalty being forced in the dead ball is 5. It'll be a first down and 10. He hit the player with his helmet on when he was on the ground.
That's Joe Andruzzi, who's seeing his first action back after a 3-game absence with the injured knee.
Well, that's a good call. The play was over. He could see it was over. You know, I'm sure they're a little frustrated on offense, so he just wanted to get that extra lick in, and it cost him 15.
So instead of a 1st and 10, it's a 2nd and 12 for the Patriots. 5 wide receivers for Brady. Make it a 1st down. And on the screen, Kevin Falk. And Falk still moving across midfield in the 1st down.
Well, again, conservative play call by the Patriots, but just good hard running by Kevin Falk makes this happen. Almost misses it, breaks the tackle. Boy, Mike Compton down the field again. He was downfield on the run the last play, down the field on that screen play and making blocks, and just good hustle by number 77.
Now from the shotgun, Brady. Spins, throws, Edwards. Edwards shakes one tackler, shakes a second. Penalty marker is down as Edwards fights his way to the 46.
Tripping.
You know, Phil, you and I were talking about it during the last timeout, that this is an offense that is not operating at peak efficiency, the New England Patriots, yet they always look, and have since the beginning of the game, to be on the verge.
Tripping, number 77, offense. That's a 10-yard penalty. Remains 1st down.
Penalties on Mike Compton.
Well, Greg, they haven't made the mistake yet today. It's 21-7. You're near midfield. You've crossed it twice. Penalties bring you back. So, as bad as it seems for fans of the Patriots, you're still right there. You drive down, you score, this thing then becomes a really tight, emotional game.
On 1st and 19, Brady gonna go deep. Popped up into the air, intercepted by Delta O'Neal. Penalty marker is down. O'Neal to the 30 and is brought down. Troy Brown is very confident that this call is going to go against the Denver Broncos.
Well, what happened is they went up to catch the ball. You could see the Bronco defenders were on top of him and stopped him from going up. Tom Brady, good play action fake.
Pass interference, number 25.
David Patton.
That's 1st down.
There's the interference on Denard Walker, number 25. And all of that yardage that Denver gained by penalty, they just gave back.
Well, it didn't look as bad when I watched the replay. When I watched it live, I thought it was pass interference for sure.
44-yard penalty, 1st down. Here's Antoine Smith straight ahead.
Well, that's the first time today that the Patriots have taken a shot down the field too, Greg. And that's why you take those shots. You throw it down there, you either make the catch, you hope if it's nothing bad, it goes incomplete, but also pass interference. When the football is in the air, Tom Brady threw that football extremely high. Defensive backs, they get nervous, they start to panic, and they create pass interference a lot of times because of that.
On 2nd and goal, play fake to Smith. Brady throws to the end zone, in and out of the hands of David Patton. Pretty good throw by Brady.
Yeah, it looked to be a perfect throw by Tom Brady, and it went right through their hands of David Patton. Again, good protection. I like the sellout on the play actions. It gives Brady extra time. Still pressure in his face. Yes, And it was a good throw.
Neither David Patton nor Deion Branch has registered a catch in this game today for New England. 3rd and goal. Straight drop for Brady. Throws it over the middle and threw it behind Mark Edwards, incomplete. Al Wilson almost came up with the interception.
Doesn't throw a lot of footballs to Mark Edwards, so the timing is not there between the two of them. Had no choice. The Denver Broncos were doubling both wide receivers. They were going to make the Patriots throw to the tight end or the running back.
Adam Vinatieri will attempt a 26-yard field goal out of the hold of Ken Walter. And it's good.
His kick is good.
7:26 to play in the 3rd quarter. The drive ends up in 3 for the Patriots. It's 21-10.
To the fullback, Mark Edwards, but here's the reason why it's offline. Oh, Mark Edwards does a little move. Tom Brady not expecting it, and they're lucky it doesn't result in an interception.
Instead, the Patriots take the field goal. They trail 21-10. Vinatieri to kick it away. Scotty Montgomery, the deep man. And Montgomery from the 10. 25. Across the 30. Stacked up at the 31-yard line. That's where Greasy and the Denver Broncos will go back to work as a couple of the players discuss it in the center of the field. 7:18 to play in the 3rd.
Okay, that'll be enough.
Yeah, I know.
You're always singing, though. That's the truth. Greg's always singing. Knows the words to every song, any of them on radio.
Disgusting, isn't it? The handoff to Portis, and Portis straight ahead across the 35 to about the 37-yard line. A pickup of 4, 2nd and 6. Clinton Portis, the rookie out of Miami, 2nd-round draft choice, and of the rookie running backs in the NFL this season, he is tops by far.
Well, he just picked a really good team to come to for a running back. I'm going to tell you. You know, Denver Broncos, they can churn them out, and this guy has a chance to be something special.
15 carries for 63 yards on the day. Portis to the 37.
You know, it really is. Well, we talk about it. You have discussions. You listen to people talk about what's important in the National Football League. It is coaching. And, yes, talent really helps. But Clinton Portis, a good example. Terrell Davis comes. He's terrific. Then it's Mike Anderson, Olandis Gary, now Clinton Portis, all having tremendous success because of the coaching and the talent in front of these runners.
Fans looking for a defensive stand here on 3rd and 5. Greasy flips to Rod Smith. Smith run out of bounds short of the 1st down. That was a slow developing play at best in the backfield.
Well, that's it, Greg. You said it right. Just so slow getting the whole thing. By the time they get Rod Smith with the football, he's about 5 to 6 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Good reaction by the Patriots defense.
Victor Green wrestling him out of bounds, and deep to receive the kick is Deion Branch, and Tom Ruin. He's been a spectator up until now. This is his first punt of the day. And he still hasn't kicked one.
False start. Number 35, offense, 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
Penalty is on Lenny Walls. And they'll back it up 5 yards. There's Ruin. Tom Ruin has had 2 punts blocked this year, one last week against Kansas City. Horrible kick. Bounces at midfield. rolls inside the 45 to about the 41-yard line. 22-yard punt. Tom Rowan waited all day to do that. To the Green Bay Packers. And New England now first down at their own 42-yard line. Give us to Antoine Smith, left side, running room, midfield. Close to the 45-yard line of the Denver Broncos and a first down.
Again, the left side of this offensive line and the action that time by Tom Brady, it looked like it was going to be a run to the right, and that delayed the defense just enough. Joe Andruzzi pulling around. Fourier comes around, doesn't get a block, but in good hard running, picks up the first down.
Al Wilson made the tackle. He's playing with a dislocated middle finger on his right hand. First and 10. Movement up front. No contact. No flag. Deep down the sideline. Incomplete. Delta O'Neal doing combat with David Patton. And you pointed out way back in the pregame warm-ups, can David Patton run?
He can run, but that time he got involved, I thought, with the defensive back. If you watch the replay of this, the football is thrown perfectly, and David Patton goes inside. Let's see if I'm right. He's on the outside. He's out there. Stay there. He bends in a little. The ball comes outside.
Second and 10.
Good coverage by O'Neal, though.
The pitch for Smith tries the right side. Inside the 45 to the 43. This is amazing that Deion Branch comes into this game with 37 catches and 2 touchdowns. David Patton with 29 receptions and 3 TDs, and neither one of them has caught a ball today.
It has been tough, and a lot of time in this Denver Broncos defense, opposing quarterbacks are completing almost 67% of their passes against it, but a lot of times it's short, little passes over the middle, and that's the tight end and the backs. Outside, they're doing a good job.
Brady needs the 36-yard line for a first down. Deep drop. Has time, throws over the middle, incomplete, intended for Fourier, the tight end, at the 35-yard line.
Boy, you can just tell. You can tell the coverage is good because the rhythm is not there for the quarterback, Tom Brady. Quarterbacks love to go back, set, look, and throw. And when you have to look 2 or 3 times, you get jumpy, you get nervous, and then when you do throw it, it's usually not as accurate as you'd like it to be.
Delta O'Neal back at his own 10-yard line for the kick to come from Walter. This one will sail into the end zone. The touchback means the Broncos will have the ball at their own 20-yard line. Brian Griese, some last-minute words.
Now, they've only changed it like 2 snaps the whole game, so you think you could do better, but they're covering receivers very well.
Griese to McCaffrey. McCaffrey inside and over the 25 to the 26-yard line before Tabucky Jones makes the tackle.
Yes, and Ed McCaffrey, good job. Tabucky Jones, he is a heat-seeking missile. He's big, he's fast, he is like the modern-day strong safety in the National Football League. That's what you look for. And he's plays special teams. He's bigger this year than last year, and he told me, he says, the bigger I am, the faster I get. And I went, that is just pathetic.
That's scary. 3rd and 4. Patriot fans looking for a defensive stand. A handoff. And fighting forward to the 29-yard line is Clinton Portis. Appears to be very close.
It looks a little short. It has to hit the line because they started on a touchback from the 20. And Victor Green, a substitute safety, comes in and makes the tackle to keep them from getting the first down. There's Victor Green, the ex-Jet. They have 3 excellent safeties on this New England defense.
Tom Ruin's last punt, his first of the day, was for 22 yards.
We are now watching the game how the Patriots played last year.
That one's a lot better. This is Deion Branch from the 25. 35. 45. Down the sideline. Tripped up inside the 40 all the way to the 36-yard line of the Denver Broncos. And Ruin, the punter, is the man who tripped him up.
Deion Branch gets running so fast, he can't even make a move on the punter. But a nice fake right there gets him to the outside. Good blocking down the field. And Ruin, I don't even know if he got him. Deion Branch just making the move. Up.
Oh, he's going to get credit for the tackle.
Yes, he is. He did clip his foot just enough. But again, the Patriots with another chance. They've been down in here, it seems like about 4 or 5 times today, and are not getting much out of it. So it's important this time that they take this down and get some points.
Brady spreads the field on first down. Quick pass out here. Troy Brown, 30 to the 25 and out of bounds. Run out by Kenoy Kennedy. And Troy Brown probably has the feeling he was a step or two away from breaking it.
Well, what this is the sweep right in the running game. So if you're not running it great, you just find ways to pick up cheap yardage on first down. A screen behind the line of scrimmage to a wide receiver. Troy Brown does a good job.
Troy Brown is the only one making any receptions among the wide receiver core today. We're going to get a measurement on the near side of the field.
But going back, Greg, this is more the style of game that we saw last year from the Patriots when they got hot. Bill Belichick told us on Friday, we were talking about a few things, and I said, the mark of your team last year was the fact that you just managed the games like it was a clinic on how to manage each football game. And he agreed. He said, yes, this year we're not doing this. We're not doing that near as well, and they want to try to get back to that same style that they were playing last year.
As you saw, the Patriots did pick up the first down at the Denver 25. One thing Tom Brady did say, they want to finish plays and finish drives today. Smith kicks his way to the 20. And Kenoy Kennedy coming up from his safety position to make the stop.
Too, as I think about it, as I sit here, teams always talk about the fact they want to run the football. Of course you do. Everybody wants to run it, but do you have the patience and the willpower to stay with it? And I will admit today the Patriots are staying with the running game longer than they had so far this whole year.
We're in the final minute of the third quarter.
You got to wear them down sometimes.
Brady over the middle. Troy Brown, 10 to the 7-yard line.
Well, Troy Brown catches the football short. That's where you can do it. Watch the top of your screen. Edwards comes out, boom. Nice block, almost like a pick against Ian Gold, and lets Troy Brown get the extra yards.
And it looks like they will not get a playoff before the end of the third quarter.
Well, I would if I was them. They're hot. They got the rhythm. You got the defense guessing. Don't let them regroup.
Well, let's see. 1 second, and time runs down.
Tom Brady was looking at the 25-second clock instead of the game clock.
That is a first and goal from the 8-yard line, and you just have to figure a touchdown here would just do wonders for the confidence of the New England offense. Antoine Smith and Mark Edwards in the backfield. Brady to the end zone, wide open, touchdown, Christian Fauria. When you're 8 yards out, who else are you going to throw it to but number 88?
Again, good pass protection. When Tom Brady threw it, I thought it was too far, but I didn't realize he put perfect touch on the football. Oh, the Broncos get confused in their coverage. Good play design.
And the Patriots will now go for the 2-point conversion. They are down 5 on the scoreboard. New England 1 out of 3 in that department this season. And Denver calls timeout.
You know, I'm not sure I would go for 2 right here, Greg. Here's why. If you kick the extra point, it's 21-17. If Denver scores, or he kicks a field goal, now your touchdown ties them. And if you miss it here, then you're looking at doing another 2-point conversion. It's, you know, I always say wait as long as you can before you start trying or changing the score of the game like this.
I was just horrible in math. Is this an X over Y thing?
Yeah, something like that.
Denver down to 1 timeout, but they want to make sure the defense is right.
Well, and good call, a good timeout call, because this 2 points is very important, you know, in the strategy and of course in the outcome of the game.
Antoine Smith back onto the field for New England's offense. 2 ex-Michigan quarterbacks doing battle here at Gillette Stadium. Tom Brady and Brian Griese.
Oh, they're going to blitz.
Brady, lob to the end zone corner, and it's batted away by Denard Walker. Denard Walker makes the play on David Patton. And so the score remains Denver 21, the Patriots 16. Decision to go for 2, it didn't work. His team trails by 5 as New England gets set to kick it away.
David Patton was a little too fast when it came to going to the back of the end zone. Needed to delay just a little longer until the ball got closer. Would have helped his chances.
Vinatieri's kick, Scotty Montgomery from the 6. 20. Run out of bounds across the 30-yard line by Victor Green. Well, Thursday after CSI, don't miss the new hit drama Without a Trace. So full of twists, there's no way you'll guess how it ends. And all new, Without a Trace, Thursday after CSI on CBS, America's most watched network.
You're having an excellent day with promos.
I haven't made one, and it helps that they're all in English. I am burning it up in English. Brian Griese's numbers on the day, first half, second half.
You know what? You think back. That's Larry Izzo. Looks like he has a cramp. But you go back, Greg, to talk about the Broncos offense. They come out in the second half. They start marching right down the field. Willie McGinnis sack put them in a tough situation. And since then, they've been out of rhythm and can't make the plays to pick up the first downs.
Mike Anderson, the lone back behind Griese, who will throw. Wide open in the middle of the field, Ed McCaffrey across midfield into New England territory, first down.
Now, you remember back in the first half on about a 2nd and 2, they threw almost the same pass to Ed McCaffrey. It's the same play, except this time they gave the New England defense a different formation, a different look, but the same result, Ed McCaffrey wide open.
The ball at the 49-yard line of the Patriots. Look
wow.
at McCaffrey's numbers.
Throw to him 7 completions, 8 for 8.
McCaffrey to the 35, to the 30, to the 28-yard line. Victor Green again with the stop, but how's that for gaining big yardage in a short amount of time?
You know, I got to laugh as I watch Ed McCaffrey catch the ball. As we talked to Mike Shanahan about him last night, and Mike Shanahan goes, well, before the Kansas City game, it was what's wrong with Shannon Sharpe. And then after the game, it's what's wrong with Ed McCaffrey. So I guess after this game, it'll be maybe Rod Smith's turn because he's not getting all the action. I don't know. But that's how you become a good team. A lot of weapons, a lot of different ways to win, and the Broncos have that on offense.
Here's Clinton Portis, right side, inside the 20, and squirts his way to the 18-yard line. Let's go down to Armin Katain. Armin.
Thanks, Greg. Beginning here of the fourth quarter, which flatly was a terrible one last year for the Broncos. Brian Griese telling us the team flatly did not believe it could win in the fourth quarter, had no confidence in itself. Well, last week they were down by 14 at the start. They rallied to win in overtime. Brian threw for a career record 376, and we're seeing the results of that confidence right now. Back to you.
Brian Griese, 16 of 19. 2nd and 1. The give is to Portis. Portis to the 15, where Mike Vrabel makes the stop. Pick up a 4, and it's first down.
A couple things. It helps. Shannon Sharpe comes back. Ed McCaffrey's healthy. Clinton Portis at running back. You draft Ashley Lee at wide receiver. There's a lot of good reasons. And Brian Griese's a year older. That really helps an offense. His decision making, his leadership, as we said, his game management, all that's better. This offense should be better.
Clinton Portis asked for a break. Mike Anderson replaces him behind Griese. Play fake. Griese looks one way, looks the other, and throws incomplete, intended for Rod Smith, coming back from the sideline toward the middle of the field. 2nd and 10.
You know, too, Greg, we've talked about Brian Griese so much today, but I think it's a good topic to talk about. But, you know, he gets coached, like we said, really hard. And I know it's got to be tough on him. It's tough on any quarterback. But I think it's coming to a point now where he's really starting to appreciate the fact that he knows he has coaches that are really, really helping him have success on the football field.
2nd and 10. Griese throws sideline, complete to Rod Smith. And Smith has stood up at about the 7.5-yard line. Ty Law, the first one to hit him, a pickup of 8, and it'll be 3rd and 2.
You know, as I look, as they're calling the plays, Shannon Sharpe was outside against Teddy Bruschi one-on-one. And I thought for sure Brian Griese would throw it to him. And as I watched Shannon Sharpe coming back, you saw it. He says he will not come back and talk to the quarterback and say, should have thrown to me or do that. I don't want to do that to confuse him.
Denver 6 for 6 in the first half on 3rd down. 0 for 3 here in the second half. Portis, left side. To the 5.
That's close. If it's not a first down, would you go for it? Greg Gumbel, I'll make you a coach.
Considering how well that they've been running the ball thus far today, and especially on this drive, I would.
I'd kick it.
Oh, no fun.
You're up 5. Kick it. 8 points. Touchdown, 2 points.
Our director, Larry Cavallina, says he'd punt.
No, I think he said he'd bunt. You know, it's baseball, all that stuff going on. Oh, man, right on it.
Moot point. 1st and goal.
You know, it's interesting. The Broncos, one of the few teams in the league, when it's 3rd and like 2 to 5, that have a pretty good percentage, they'll stick a run in there on you. Almost every team is 100% pass, but they're so good they can run the football in those situations.
Mike Anderson to the goal line. Did he get there? No touchdown signal.
Yeah, how's that? You get down inside the 5, it's first down. Let's put the big guy in there. Let him, in case we don't block it very well, Mike Anderson can still get us 2 or 3 yards. Good combination along with Clinton Portis.
Denver's play selection. Pretty good balance today. 110 rushing yards. Whistles blow.
Going on a quick snap count. Did a Denver Bronco offensive lineman move?
How can you move early on a quick snap count?
That's what I want to know.
There is no play. Timeout was called by New England prior to the snap.
Well, before the snap count, before that quick snap, Ty Law took a quick tee. In the backfield. Play fake. Griese throws it away. Oh, look at Shannon Sharpe all alone. And Oh, no, it was Ruben Drones. Excuse me. I thought it was 84. It's number 34.
Boy, that's amazing. Brian Griese must have went, yeah, good play call. I'm going to get the touchdown pass. They're inside the 1 or right on the 1, and the Patriots are alert enough to be there to cover.
3rd and goal.
Mike Anderson back in the game. You've got to believe they're going to give it to him.
Drones in motion. Anderson, left side. Oh, and he's hit at the 2. Teddy Bruschi. The hole was there on the left side.
I thought he was going to walk in. Teddy Bruschi, a middle linebacker, makes plays because he's got the speed and the instincts to see where the play's going. Just comes from behind the pack. It's like he was lurking, just hiding. What a job by Teddy Bruschi.
What a hole on the left side. Field goal attempt by Elam from 19 yards out. The kick is good. So the Patriots put up the stone wall as far as the touchdown is concerned. Denver gets the field goal, 24-16 Broncos. Short kick from the 11 is Kevin Falk to the 20. Trying to break it outside and turn the corner. Keith Burns runs him out of bounds, and let's go back to that big defensive stop by Teddy Bruschi.
Watch number 54. This really could have been the game. They score. Teddy Bruschi just sits behind, knows his responsibility is the hole that Mike Anderson sees to the outside. He waits, Anderson commits, then he makes the perfect tackle.
Now New England turns to its offense from the 32-yard line. Still plenty of time, just over 9.5 to play. Brady still has it. Throws over the middle, incomplete. Intended for Mark Edwards, and Al Wilson, bandaged right hand and all, makes the stop. I couldn't help but laugh when Al Wilson dislocated the middle finger. I guess a newspaper reporter asked him, he said, are you going to play next week? And the Denver trainer said, you got to be kidding with that question.
I'll tell you what, there's guys dislocate their elbows and end up, they bandage it and they play. It's amazing what some of the players, the pain they play with, not the injury, the pain.
Brady pass over the middle that dropped by Deion Branch.
I tell you what, Greg, the first down, play action play, the Patriots ran, it was defensed beautifully by the Broncos defense. Almost always when I see that type of play action fake, I saw the routes in the field, always somebody was open, but the Broncos were all over.
And now let's revisit what you questioned, that 2-point conversion, because if Denver stays at 24, New England needs a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie.
Yeah, you got to make two big things. First, you got to score, and then the hard 2-point conversion.
3rd and 10. Brady goes down at the 23. Al Wilson with the sack.
Well, you know what happens? You just get lulled to sleep. It's really the first blitz I've seen by this Broncos defense today. Al Wilson, 56, coming from the outside, makes such a quick move. It really catches the offensive line of the Patriots off guard. They can get to Brady. You saw the open receivers, too, down the field.
4 sacks of Tom Brady today by the Denver defense, and all of them coming on 3rd down. Walters kick. Picked up at the 40 by O'Neal. Penalty markers are down. A couple of them.
Face mask.
They are celebrating on the Denver sideline. Here's the face mask right there on Antoine Harris.
Face mask, number 23. For the return, it's a 15-yard penalty. First down.
And the field position, which was going to be terrific for the Denver Broncos is now delightful. 9:03 to play. Avoid their 4th straight loss, and the last time a Super Bowl champion lost 4 in a row, Denver Broncos. Long ways to go in this one, though. 9:03 to play. Clinton Portis with the pitch, left side, turns the corner inside the 40 to the 38-yard line. Run out of bounds by Roman Pfeiffer.
Boy, just a nice array of plays with this Bronco offense. When you get a defense that needs to make a stop in this situation, they're going to be aggressive against the run. So you fake it inside, you go out, the perfect play call. And there's Romeo Crennel, defensive coordinator. 2nd and 2. Not much you can do. That's a rhyme.
Your regular Walt Whitman.
A rapper.
Portis straight ahead for the first down, close to the 30-yard line. 6-yard pickup, and it's a first down.
We have not seen this, Greg, you and I. We saw the Broncos week 2 against the 49ers. Tough game, and they just outlasted the San Francisco 49ers that day. They just hung in there and beat them at the end. And today, they have been sharp, really, from start to finish. And offensively, the defense it's been very good. Look at that, over 300 yards on offense. Brian Griese, Clinton Portis, Ed McCaffrey. Everybody has made a play that's really lifted the team. Offensive line.
This is Reuben Drones, and number 97, Jarvis Green, the rookie out of LSU, wrapped him up.
Well, what you want to do, too, the Patriots, the Broncos, use time, but you want to get down closer to get a field goal to basically win the football game. Right now, you're looking at a 48 or a 49-yard field goal. So the Patriots, you're getting to the point, you got to take a chance on defense. You can't allow extra yards or another first down, or the game would be over probably.
Portis and Anderson, and rather Reuben Drones and Portis in the backfield on 2nd and 10. And Portis to about the 27. 4-yard pickup, and Alex Gibbs cheering his offensive lineman on. 102 yards rushing on the day for Clinton Portis.
Boy, good day. Hadn't been easy either. He's worked for a lot of them. A lot of hitting, a lot of tough hits. Made a few of them miss, got outside.
Six and a half to play. Griese gonna go for it all. McCaffrey, it's intercepted. Penalty markers fly. Intercepted in the end zone by Lawyer Malloy. Let's check the flag.
I think it's going to be against Ty Law.
Ed McCaffrey gets up holding his right shoulder.
Well, if he'd wear some pads, he wouldn't get hurt. Look at that uniform.
Here's Tom White. It's against the New England Patriots.
Watch down at the bottom of your screen. Ed McCaffrey goes inside. There was the hold. It was past 5 yards. And if you hit a receiver like that, just think about, I said this a few times, I do games. Just think about running down a track as fast as you can. If somebody gets in front of you and holds you like that, of course, it's going to interfere with you. Same with these wide receivers.
First down from the spot of the foul at the 22-yard line. Fresh set of down. Griese is buried back at the 30. Bobby Hamilton, number 91, leading the charge.
Well, the Patriots need a big play on defense. They're getting down. They are definitely in field goal range. And Bobby Hamilton, Willie McGinnis, both in there. Ted Bruschi, he's back there.
Second New England sack of the day results in a 7-yard loss, and it's a 2nd and 17. Under 6 minutes to play. Portis. That time, the offensive line of the Broncos just moved the Patriots' side of the line, just moved it back. 9-yard pickup, 3rd and 8.
They did that, and there's one common trait, Craig, we've talked about this many times too, that all Denver Bronco running backs have, is they don't waste a lot of time at the line of scrimmage. And there's the guy. He's the one that taught him. We told Terrell Davis used to tell us that. Coach Gibbs says, I'll give you one move. Anything over that, we got trouble. What do you do to play?
We get a timeout on the field. Tom White says, raise the roof. Elevator goes all the way to the top.
Well, I don't know. Is there a timeout? Is it?
You know, I think Tom could just use that microphone that he's got. Oh, well. For those of you expecting to see 60 Minutes, you're watching the NFL on CBS, the Denver Broncos and the New England Patriots. Greg Gumbel with Phil Simms and Armin Katayan. The Broncos lead at 24-16 with 5:15 to play here in the 4th quarter. 60 Minutes will be seen immediately following this game, except in the Mountain and West Coast time zone. 3rd and 8. Here comes the blitz. The give is to Portis, and he goes nowhere. And those of you who have been watching other action, Houston and Jacksonville, welcome everyone to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, where the Broncos lead New England 24-16. 4.5 minutes to play. And Jason Elam on a 39-yard field goal attempt. Bad snap. Kick is wide. Rowan had to reach back for the snap. Here's the snap. Rowan down and to the right. And he gets it back.
Yeah, but he gets it down perfectly, Greg. It looks like Jason Elam just didn't go through it hard enough.
So it remains an 8-point spread, and here's how we got this way. Clinton Portis, the first of his 2 touchdown runs, put Denver up 7-0. Shannon Sharp on the receiving end of an 8-yard touchdown pass. Antoine Smith, 3-yard TD run, cut the lead in half. Clinton Portis' second of the day made it 21-7. The Vinatieri field goal made it 21-10. Christian Fourier, the 8-yard touchdown catch from Tom Brady. 24-16, Brady back to work. Stands in, throws, Troy Brown across the field to the 35. Pickup of 6, and it'll be 2nd and 4.
Well, you got 2 timeouts in 4 minutes, and you might need every bit of that. The way this Bronco defense is played, the way they're only giving up the short passing game, Tom Brady is going to be very patient and know the fact, I know he knows this, but he has 4 downs, so you don't force a throw.
Brady throws once again to Edward, or rather Troy Brown, and Brown out to the 42 or 43-yard line. 8 yards and a first down.
Now you know what this does. When you get a first down or so and you get this moving, you get a defensive line that gets tired and it gives the quarterback more time to throw. And as I say that, the Broncos throw in some reserves.
Remember Tom Brady on Friday saying that I have to play smart and not be stupid.
Well, he has done that today. He has been smart, very good decision making.
On the blitz, got rid of it, intended for Antoine Smith. It's incomplete. Stops the clock with 3:08 to play.
Give the credit to Ray Rhodes. Tyrone Poole, a reserve defensive back, comes on the blitz. The Patriots not ready for it.
Here's Tom Brady's day in a nutshell. Under harassment.
You know, Greg, too, think how hard this has been for Tom Brady. We watched practice, and they were throwing it down the field, the play action, big passes, and they have not been there today, but he has shown the patience to not take those chances. That's why they're still in the game.
Whistles blow, movement up front.
False start. Number 63, offense, 5-yard penalty. It remains second down.
And Druzzi guilty of the false start. You know, if you had told Mike Shanahan that he'd be successful in cutting both David Patton and Deion Branch out of the New England offense, he'd say, we win the ball game hands down.
Yeah, that's right. And if you had told him you missed a couple field goals, you'd have some bad punts and all that too, he'd like,
well, maybe not.
He was really get upset. Because he's not real happy with his special team situation.
2nd and 15. Brady down at the 31. Brady wants a face mask call. Trevor Price delivered the sack.
Trevor Price never grabbed Tom Brady's face mask. Watch it. But he definitely hits it. Well, yeah, I'm sorry. You got to call that.
Bill Belichick pleading his case on the far side, and you hear the fans' reaction as they see the replay on the scoreboard.
Now,
3rd and 22.
Sorry, Greg. Now it's 3rd and 22. You got to take a chance.
Brady steps up, running out of time. On the move. Gets hit as he lets go. Incomplete. Deion Branch had a shot at it and couldn't get it.
What a play by Tom Brady to get out of trouble, to stand there and have Bertrand bury him. Watch what happens. Boy, Deion Branch makes the adjustment to the long throw, just doesn't make the catch.
And Bill Belichick chooses to kick it away.
And why? Because you got the 2-minute warning and 2 timeouts.
Walters, maybe his best kick of the day. O'Neal, fair catch call for and made at the 25-yard line.
Greg, why the Patriots punted? They can stop it twice with timeouts. Then the 2-minute warning. They could get the football back with 2 minutes to go.
It's a matter of field position, ideally speaking, for Bill Belichick.
Yeah, and then you would have had 4th and really long. The chances of picking that up were less than it would be stopping this 3 plays by the Broncos.
Clinton Portis, right side. To the 27. A gain of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 8, and New England uses a timeout to stop the clock at 2:16. And New England has 1 timeout remaining. Entertaining football game. Let's check out what's happening elsewhere with Jim Nantz in New York. Jim.
All right, Greg, the Houston Texans trying to get their 2nd win, and just moments ago, 2 minutes and 11 seconds on the clock once this one is booted. It's Chris Brown for the Texans, nailing it from 45 yards, and Houston leads it 21-19 at Jacksonville. Let's go back to Greg and Phil.
All right, Jim, thank you. 24-16 here at Gillette Stadium with 2:16 to play. Each team with 1 timeout remaining. And Bill Belichick looking down the barrel of a 4-game losing streak.
That he is, but you know what? They are losing to the cream of the crop, too, in the National Football League, if they do lose today. San Diego, Miami, Green Bay.
On the end around, Rod Smith trying to turn the corner.
Oh, and a good job by Rod Smith staying in bounds.
Rick Lyle with help from Victor Green. And we come to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play here in Foxborough. Denver, 24-16 lead. Foxborough, the Broncos looking at a 3rd and 8. Do you throw the football here if you're Brian Griese?
No, I do not, but they do.
Going to throw it down the sideline. It is caught. Ashley Lally, the rookie out of Hawaii.
I wouldn't throw it because I'm a coward, and I believe in playing it safe. But Mike Shanahan, we talked about it all game long. He's an aggressive play caller. He likes to go for it. You got Ashley Lally, probably the fastest guy in the Denver Broncos, going against Otis Smith. Nobody back there helping him. Brian Griese, another perfect throw. That ends the game for the Denver Broncos.
Oh, that sends the inhabitants of Gillette Stadium rising to their feet and heading for the exits.
Yes, and I'm glad it's not snowing, or I'd be getting a snowball being thrown my way. That's right.
You are special enough to bring some to the stadium.
Well, boy, what a throw by Brian Griese, but really that just comes to the play call and the speed of Ashley Lally. That's what gets it done.
Congratulations from Eddie McCaffrey, who comes over as Denver uses its 3rd and final timeout with 1:09 to play.
You know, look at Brian Griese. What a day he had. The interception was on a bomb. But think about this Denver offense. Griese has a good day. There's Tom Brady. Look what he did today. But you look at Brian Griese has a good day. Clinton Portis plays well. Ashley Lally makes a big play. I'm trying to keep talking, Greg, because so many people are yelling at me up here. I can't even get it out.
I don't even know who to listen to.
I hear you. The fans, we're about 2 feet away from them. So I'm trying to act like I don't hear them, but it's hard.
It is hard. And now Denver will go about the business of killing the clock these last 69 seconds.
There you go, Brian.
And Brian Griese takes a knee on the snap.
But you know what? This is 4 in a row that the Patriots have lost. Hey, it's not the end of the year. It's going to go all the way to the end. It's not going to take great records probably to get in the playoffs. So all these teams still have to play each other. The Broncos have an extremely tough schedule. The Patriots do too. So you have a way to beat the teams you're competing against to get back in the playoff race.
Denver Broncos chalked up 352 total yards of offense here today. And what a big, big victory it is for the Denver Broncos to come into New England and knock off the defending Super Bowl champs.
And Brian Griese says, man, I hope I go into the bye week healthy. He made it through the game because he was looking forward to that, because it has been physically a pretty tough year so far for Brian Griese getting hit.
Mike Shanahan's a lot happier than he looks, I guarantee you, as he shakes hands with Bill Belichick. 2 terrific head coaches matching wits here today. The Broncos come out on top. For Phil Simms and Armin Katayan, Greg Gumbel saying so long from Gillette Stadium. Our final score, the Broncos 24, the Patriots 16. We remind you to stay tuned for 60 Minutes, except on the West Coast. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Just a reminder, you've been watching the NFL on CBS.